Hey everybody, this is Mr. Hardcore Mode where nothing's easy, here to bring you another hard rant about over IGN's bullshit again. But anyway, warriors and wenches, sit back and relax. We got a short video for you, a hard rant into IGN's bullshit. This one pertaining to a guy named, I guess his name is TJ or something like that. It's a trans person, but he's obviously a dude. So I'm just going to call him a TJ. I think it's TJ. But basically, this person right here did what's the word I'm looking for? Two reviews. He did a review on Veilguard, and we all know how that shit went. And he also did a review also on Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. The thing that pisses me off about this guy named TJ, this one dude, it's a dude. It's a fucking dude. Let's stop playing around, okay? This IGN journalist is threatening people, not on Twitter. He's on, I think he's on Twitter. No, I think he's on Blue Sky and Twitter. He's definitely a Blue Sky dude. But anyway, he's threatening to reduce points on games, calling the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America. Now, if it sounds stupid, then I'm just gonna let you know that it's probably true. I know if I say this, if I say what I just said again to you, you're not gonna believe it, but it's fucking true. This guy, this dumbass motherfucker from IGN, a journalist, mind you, with Access Media, says, I'll take a whole point off the review score for any future map games that call it the Gulf of America. Let me tell you something. This not only hurts this gentleman's career, he's basically trying to delete his own career. This also hurts it hurts as an employer. It also hurts any sort of journalists that are actually around IGN, other journalists. There's actually some good journalists in IGN, but it's hard to siphon out which ones are good and which ones aren't really doing their fucking job. This guy, TJ, he ain't doing his fucking job. He's a fucking sociopath, okay? He's got some sort of TDS that you know what? I don't even want to dive into this man's mind. This guy TJ also said, you think I'm joking? You think I want to do this forever? I can start some fires on the way out. Try and call the bluff. This is not only a mix of a psychopath, but he's also like basically saying he doesn't give a fuck about his job. You gotta watch out for some of these woke losers out here. These left-leaning losers, because it sucks. Because you are marking people that are actually, left-leaning, or people that are, think in that sort of spectrum, that are a little bit progressive. You're giving them a bad name because they actually might be good people, but you're being extreme and you're trying to fuck with other people's scores, and that shit, you just gotta get fired, bruh. I don't know what to tell you. This is the kind of bullshit. You not only fuck with your own employer in IGN, you also fuck with, you also fuck with other game developers. Because you know what this says? This says your score's not good enough unless you have A, B, and C on the game, and you better not have X, Y, and Z. That is very, very dangerous. Very dangerous, because having these good scores, some of these developers don't care about the scores, and who they really care about are the gamers, and that's good. That's a good feeling. But since they're like IGN, such a big prevalent, access media journalists, and unfortunately they aren't really, IGN's not really, what's the word I'm looking for? They're not really, we need somebody who is an alternative to IGN, who's actually legitimate. And we're actually starting to see some YouTubers out here that are actually legitimate, that are not scared to speak their mind. And I wish they would be pushed out there. where we could see somebody that is not IGN doing gaming journalists. I'm actually starting to like Skill Up a little bit more. I actually am. I'm starting to like Maddie Plays a little bit more, just a little bit more, but I'm starting to like Skill Up because I've been watching his reviews, and he's actually not, I wouldn't say he's uh I don't consider a Skill Up like a fence sitter or anything like that. I consider Skill Up to be, what's the word I'm looking for? Truthful but kind. I like that. Honest but kind. Me, I'm a piece of shit, okay? I'll say what I want, but I'll try to speak the truth as best as I can. But I like what Skill Up said for Veilguard, and I like what he said for Avowed. Nope, I don't want other YouTubers to be like me. I don't want that. I do not. But I do like to see other YouTubers out there that are trying to be journalists themselves over video games and bringing themselves up. I do not want to go over and watch reviews over a new video game with somebody that is just straight up, bias, that don't think about the gamer. I need people that are gamers. Point blank, like, they think about the gamers. I'm doing this review, I'm thinking about the gamers. I'm doing this review on this game, I'm thinking about the gamers. That's great that you're thinking about the developers and you want them to have jobs and you like their studio or whatever, but please think about the gamers. The gamers are the most important thing out of all of the gaming industry. IGN is forgetting that shit, okay? They're forgetting that shit. That's why they got that layoff bullshit. That's why Destin Legary, is doing his own thing, and he had to leave. Well, he wanted to leave. He also said, this TJ motherfucker, he said, nobody has ever let this amount of soft power go to their head before, I don't know what he said at the end there. So, basically, he's crashing out right now, this TJ guy. He also, basically, if you've just gotten to here, he did the Avowed review. He also did he do the Avowed review? I don't think he did. I think he did Veilguard and he did KCD 2, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. This is why I think what he does right here, what you're seeing right here on your screen is very corrosive, because you know what this means? You know what this means? This means if you put gay or black characters in a video game, something that some extreme anti-woke people don't really like, I get where they're coming from, but also at the same time, they got to be very careful with how they turn anti-woke shit, because I'm just like, I want them to be creative, and I don't want them to add stuff that's only, political pandering to one side, hey, we're doing this for the black people, we're doing this for the gays. I don't like that. I want them to make their own game completely free. Awesome. I think that's great. I do not want IGN to give bonus points for putting lesbians, gay people, black people, Hispanic people. I don't want them to add more points for being progressive. I don't want them to do that, because that is fucking sick. That is some cartel bullshit right there. You understand what I'm saying? See, when Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 came out, which is not a woke game, by the way, and the Warhorse Studio, what they did was they added a gay relationship with Hans Capone, and I thought it was a bit weird. It felt really, Reddit, blue sky-ish, because the only time that I remember anything about hearing Hans Capone was going to be, actually, kissing Henry was, I saw the pictures on Twitter or Reddit, and I'd be like, well, that's weird. Okay, they can draw or ship whatever they want. I don't like shippers, but they can draw whatever they want. I think Warhorse Studios went to the Reddit, went to Twitter, saw those two kissing, and was like, I'll add this for my fans. I think that was the only reason that they added it into the game. Because I'm going to be honest with you, I saw the whole romance with Hans Capone and Henry. It was boring, okay? And it didn't make sense. I was hoping that it would be a little bit better with the relationship between him and Hans Capone. like something a little bit more realistic, because it's kind of forbidden to have a gay relationship with not only another man but also a commoner. So that's really, really bad. But he was just spoiler alert, he was just talking about it out in the open, and he was like, "Oh man, Henry, oh man, well, we'll see what we could do later on, but I have to get married to this woman later." And I was thinking to myself, you know what would have been a lot better for that whole relationship is for Hans Capone to stop right after the whole romance scene. Like at the end of the game, he says, "Look, Henry, what we did, that ain't gonna happen again. You keep your mouth shut, all right? You're just a commoner, all right?" Like cold-faced. Because even though he's friends with Henry, he's trying, this is what he's doing. He's not being mean. He's trying to be considerate of Henry. And he would do this. He would be like, "Henry, that never happened. You talk about it, I'll hang you. You understand me? All right? Never do that shit again. Understand me? That didn't even happen." And then Henry would be hurt, you know, that sort of thing. And it would be kind of, and you know, like you can put a little Easter egg showing that Hans Capone is only pushing you away to a certain extent, because he's like, "Oh, well, he's doing this because if they were to be found out, Hans Capone would be fine, but Henry would be hung." It's true. He's a noble. He's going to be just fine. But Henry, he's going to, if they find out those two are having gay sex, he is dead. But Hans Capone would be nice enough to be like, "Yo, let's keep it $150. Stay back. That shit never happened. Keep your mouth shut." And I would be like, "Yo, that's so sweet and such a good romance." But they didn't do that. They were just like, "Bro, man." They talked about it for literally 2 seconds, and then he was like, "Well, I gotta get married now to a woman now." And I was like, what the fuck is this? But anyway, the game's still not woke. I just wish the romance between those two would have been a little bit more realistic. It'd have been a little bit better. But you know what IGN did? Even though IGN brought up a lot of videos on literal, you know, stuff on how to get more money, how to do this, how to do that, the only romance that they brought up out of all the romances in this game, the only romance that they brought up, because I think there's like 3 more romances that you can get in with Henry, the only romance that they brought up was Hans Capone. And I'm like, nigga, aren't you gonna do all of them? So I'm over here like, IGN, what the fuck, bruh? What the fuck? He's like, we can't have no neutrality. Like, we can't be unbiased around here. How do we get into a romance with the one big titty chick? Oh man, bro, toxic masculinity. And I'm just like, what the fuck is this shit? You know what I mean? But let's get back to TJ over here, because he's freaking me out. He should lose his job, and I think things should just move forward. I'm seeing the layoffs right in front of me on this whole picture. So basically, let's be honest. Not everybody cares about politics, okay? Not everybody cares about politics. But when they see something like this, where it's obvious that somebody cares about politics in video games or at all, it kind of twists your vision. You see what I'm saying? Where I'm just like, okay, well, we don't really care about politics. You could put whatever you want in the game. That's fine. You want to put Gulf of America? Hell, you can put Gulf of Scotland. We don't really care. If that's what you want to do, you want to pop out your bagpipes, that's fine. But when you have some crazy, degenerate, sociopathic person like this, they, them, he, she, BB, I don't know what, ABC 1, 2, 3, saying, if you put Gulf of America, I'm going to reduce your points. Now, here's the thing that's funny, though. It's actually, some developers actually will sweat about this shit. Because if there's high points, we're talking 9 out of 10, we're talking 10 out of 10, not 7 out of 10. We're talking about those good numbers, the 10 out of 10s. Certain executives and certain developers, people that are in the higher ups, certain publishers will get like will get a certain amount of money. I think. I think I don't know if it's like I don't know what kind of money that they get, but they do get some sort of incentive for having high scores. This is why he's saying this because he's having some sort of power kick right now. Like like most people would look at this and be like, well, why would the devs care about their score? They could just bring out a good video game. Some developers care about these tens out of tens, these scores with GameSpot, PC Gamer, Eurogamer, IGN. Some people care about that because that is money thrown out the window if you don't get those high numbers. That's why I'm really getting sick and tired of IGN and mostly PC Gamer. I'm really getting tired of their bullshit because they think that they rule the fucking world around here. We need actual journalists out here putting the developers in check. That's what you need to do as a gaming journalist. Putting them in check, not threatening them with a low score because you put the Gulf of America, which by the way is legal and it's actually there. It's called the Gulf of America. You can see that right now. This is why Google didn't really give a shit about all that gay shit. They were just like, okay, well, get the rainbow shit out of here, America, yay! None of these companies really give a shit about any of these sort of progressive bullshit. When the money flies away, they will throw these progressive idiots out the fucking window. They do not give two shits. They will do the rainbow, black fists, and they'll do all this shit thinking, oh shit, we're about to get a whole bunch of money. And then as soon as somebody else is sitting on the fucking throne, they're like, anyway, 4th of July, we got some sales going on. We got some sales going on. They do not give a fuck. But we get a few losers that are with access mute media that are real, because not all journalists are created equal, to be honest. Some journalists are actually good out there, but they're the ones that are loud are the ones that are put up front. And this sucks because now this is why I really was scared about the whole 9 out of 10 thing with KCD2. And I'm just over here thinking to myself, is KCD2 9 out of 10 because the game is good? Or is the game 9 out of 10 because you can be gay with Hans? I guarantee you, and I hope Warhorse is listening on this, I guarantee you, Warhorse, the people drawing all those gay pictures between Hans Capone and Henry, they would have bought your game anyway. No, it's true. They would have bought your game anyway. If Henry and Hans weren't kissing, you didn't really have to put it in the game. It's in the game and it's fine. The game's fine. The game's great, actually. It just got into Gutenberg. It's great. But they would have still bought your game. You got to be careful about what you put into your video game when it pertains to actual feedback between your fans, because you can do this whole thing. Well, this is what my fan wants. This is what my fan wants. This is what my fans want. I'll put all this shit on here. And then some certain things you're going to be like, all right. A lot of these are good ideas, but some of these good ideas I can't put in my game because then the game's going to change too much. And you see what I'm saying? Definitely listen to your fans and take that feedback into consideration. But you got to be careful with some of the fans. Some of the fans will just say like, "Oh man, give Teresa a big cock with some beads on it," and I'm like, and then you're just like, "No, we're not going to do that." Okay, let's stick to the formula of what we got. You know, we don't want too many cooks in the kitchen, is what I'm saying. And I think that's why BG3 was dealt so well, because the developers with Larian Studios knew exactly what was good with their game Baldur's Gate 3 through their fans, and they knew which was a good idea and which was not a good idea. Because if we listen to all the fans and put everything that the fans want into the video game, you're gonna get Veilguard. You're gonna get Veilguard. You're gonna get Starfield. But basically what I'm saying is this. IGN, I think we're gonna see some layoffs here real soon. Maybe in another 2 weeks to a month, but definitely after this. Oh, by the way, this tweet that you're seeing right here. Oh, he got rid of it. He got rid of his account because he knew that blowback. He knew that blowback was too much. He got rid of that shit. He knew what he said. He knew what he said. But basically, this is what I want to say is you got to watch out for these reviewers and start taking your own feedback into consideration. Watch YouTubers that you like or watch the gameplay yourself. You can find out yourself. If you want to watch IGN films, that's fine. Do your own thing. Do your own thing. But be mindful of these access media journalists because this right here, IGN, PC Gamer, are full of fucking lunatics. But there are some good journalists, but it's hard to find out which one is which. You see what I'm saying? But choose your judgment wisely on the games that are coming out and, watch your bank and, just go from there. Anyway, guys, that's my hard rant for today. I really can't stand niggas like this. I really cannot stand IGN. Every time when I see I'm tired of see. You want to know the funny thing is developers are tired of IGN, but they know that IGN has a wide amount of subscribers and viewers where it's hard to ignore. So people like Warhorse will be like, okay, we'll give it to IGN so we can get some eyes out there. It sucks. But sooner or later, we're going to get some alternatives from IGN, and that'd be great. That'd be awesome. Get these clowns out of journalism. Anyway, that's my hard rant. Appreciate you guys being here. I'm going to close that one right now. Peace.